Yes, yes, we are coping with the loss of a pet. Well, evidently, coping with the loss of a pet, um, aka dog, is a huge problem for hundreds and thousands, if not millions, of Americans. This is some huge problem for these poor Americans everywhere. They're coping with the loss of a pet. And there are so many videos and write ups and tutorials coping with the loss of a dog. You just don't understand how significant this is. So here we are. We have the doctors. Now, I did a video earlier where we looked at some of the information presented by the doctors. But let's look at this one. So, according to these people, coping with the loss of a pet is it's just so devastating. So they got this lady, this guy that's wearing hospital scrubs, so he can look legitimate. Um, they're gonna sit here and run their mouth on and on about how terrible it is when your pupper doggo, your bestest friend, dies. So here they got this guy right here. Oh my God, it's your best friend. Imagine if your best friend died. Imagine how terrible your life would be after that. Imagine how crazy and terrible. Oh, that's what they're going to talk about. They got this guy right here. Oh my God, if I'm being honest with you, uh, I have no idea how I could live my life without my best friend. Oh, they're totally taking this huge victim standpoint. Oh my God. And of course, the audience out here, they're like, oh, woo. They're just like, they're playing along. They're sad too. The pupper doggo, him passed away. Oh, oh my goodness. Pet lovers, dog lovers is what they actually mean. So, here's the thing. When you get a dog, it's going to die. Like every animal dies. If I go out and get myself a pet lizard, it's my job to understand when the lizard will die. If I go get myself a pygmy lizard and I don't feed it or I don't give it water, it's my fault when it dies. But these dog owners, this dog culture, they expect everyone else in society to bend over backwards and pour sympathy on them when their dog dies at like 10, 15 years in, which is actually longer than these dogs are even supposed to live in the first place. So let's have a look at the dog that they highlight in this video. This dog is a mutated, crossbred, inbred, forcibly impregnated. They force these dogs to quote unquote rape each other. These dogs have to have cesarean sections just so they can propagate. You are putting these dogs in a position of pre-programmed death. You are putting these dogs in a position of needing surgical, medical, special supplement interventions just so they don't get yeast infections on their massive folds of meat on their faces. Okay? It's your fault that the dog dies. It's not everyone else's in society's fault for not giving you sympathy to help you cope with your dog. The people that propagate these dogs, they set everybody up to fail. They set the dog up to fail, okay? They set this dude up to fail. They set this dude up to fail. And then they expect everyone in society to bend over backwards to pour sympathy on them. These dogs are set up to die. And then you wonder why everybody is so depressed. You're forcing them to get dogs that will die. You're forcing all of this coping coping. Humans have enough stuff to cope with already. Why are you giving them dogs that are going to die a pre-programmed death? And here's another thing, like, you hardly ever see any of these people say, hey, my dog lived 8 years, 10 years, a solid life, and I'm glad to have my dog with me. And now he passed away, and now I'm going to move on. They don't talk like that. They talk like they expected their dog to live 5 million years. Like, oh, I'm 15 years in and my dog died, and now I'm going to throw a fit and act like it's the end of the world. The dog was designed to die. And now that the dog died, instead of celebrating the dog's life, you sit here and throw a big freaking crying fit. Oh my god, I gotta cope with the dog, I gotta cope with the dog. I gotta do all of these videos. I mean, look all over Facebook. Even this video right here. How do I survive the loss of my dog? My 20-year-old Rottweiler finally died after I spent 200,000 on supplements. Duh. The dog is designed to die at a certain age. Give the best you can to your dog, let it die, and move on. You don't need to run around acting like your life is so terrible because your dog died. Like, if dog ownership is so great, how come these people that have had a dog die don't go on the stage and say, hey, my dog died, I'm over it, I let him die peacefully, and now I'm going to move on with my life? These dog owners don't act like that. They act like, oh, my dog died, and now, save me, save me. Like, dude, your dog died. It was designed to die. If having that dog in your life didn't uplift you and fulfill you, then why did you have it in the first place? This little video from the doctors. You can watch it on yourself, watch it by yourself, and generate your own opinion. But it's just a dog worshipping video. Like, literally, let's do a little ceremony for her. They're talking about the dog. They're talking about a dog that died. A dog that lived longer than most dogs would. A dog that received hundreds and thousands of dollars of neoprene vests and heated dog blankets and got to go on all kinds of boat rides and other kinds of car rides that most humans and orphans and single moms and little kids don't even get to go on. Back to our picture of this mangy mutt that they highlighted. This dog gets to go out in nature on national parks and reservoirs and lakes and be on a boat that has a high horsepower internal combustion engine designed by humans, but they still focus on the dog. Like, this dog had a great life. Top of the line equipment, top of the line boat, out on a lake. If you're a human, you have to buy a boat, you have to have a permit, you have to have a car, you have to have a national parks pass or whatever to be able to just go out in nature. This dog gets all of that for free. And you're going to sit there and act like a victim because you got to give all of that stuff to your dog, but your dog finally died. And then you're going to cry a fit and expect all of society to come and kiss up on your butt and cry about you because your dog passed away. Dogs pass away. It's what they do. When you bring a dog into your life, it's your responsibility to understand that. So look at the way they're giving this guy human touch because his dog passed away. They're touching him. This lady over here, attractive lady's rubbing this guy's arm. This guy's over here giving him a slap on the arm. They're, oh, your doggy died. Let us stroke up on you and make you feel better. And we're going to talk about your precious pupper for several minutes. Okay, fine. Fine. That's great. However, the doctors, as they call themselves, let's look at this little review video from Dog Culture Review, aka yours truly. So, this woman right here, Penelope, she was mauled by two Rottweilers. Um, she had some terrible things happen to her. The flesh in her crotch, the flesh on her arms, and many other places of her body that we should not even be allowed to talk about were ripped apart by dogs. And they gave her 15 seconds to tell her story about how Rottweilers nearly ended her life, put her in a more than month-long coma. She was not allowed to talk about her trauma. She was only forced to hang out with a bunch of dogs. And she was told that her fear of dogs needs to be overcame. Well, you know what? Your fear of your dog dying needs to be overcome. Instead of forcing people to overcome their fear of dogs, after they have several pounds of their muscle and flesh meat chewed from their body, you should be mentally healthy and tell people that have dogs that die, well, get over it. Get over the fear of that because dogs die. That's what they do. Think about it. Everybody that has a problem with dogs, when they say, hey, your dog is barking too much, what do dog owners say? Oh, that's just what they do. They bark. They're just protecting their territory. Well, that's just what dogs do. They die. They die at a certain number of years. So, all of this crap about coping with a dog that died, you're not coping. This is an expected thing to happen in your life. All of this stuff that these Christians, these pseudo Christian people, these TED Talk people, all of these people that blabber on about, oh my God, my dog died. Dude, when you got a dog, you knew it was going to die. It's like getting a gallon of milk. It's going to expire. It's like buying a car. 200,000, 300,000 miles, it's going to need to be repaired or replaced. But yet, people that have dogs, somehow society thinks that we need to put these people on a chair of victimhood, worry about them, cry about them, just because their dog passed away. Meanwhile, people are getting mauled and maimed, put 6 feet under by dogs, and we turn a blind eye to them. Yet, we're giving people all of this attention because their dog died. Think about how that is setting our society up. People that need help and attention, the only way that they can get it is to get themselves a dog and let their dog die. Then they can finally get some attention from their fellow humans. Attention that their fellow humans refused to give them up until this propaganda.